Hello, beautiful light-filled souls. So happy to connect with you today. I want to talk a bit more about deepening your intuition and trusting your intuition and knowing your intuition. I'm teaching a workshop on this at the end of the month. This is an online event on October 25th, but you are welcome to join in person if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I want to talk though and just give you some of my insight and my experiences with connecting with loved ones and with angelic realms and healing realms on the other side. So remember, I was agnostic before my near-death experience and totally uninterested in this type of phenomenon. Once I had my near-death experience, though, I understood that I had died. And because I had died, the way I looked at it at that time was, well, I crossed the veil. So that veil is just a little bit thinner. I understand this realm and that realm. And so, of course, occasionally ghosts are going to make themselves known to me, and if I can assist them in crossing over, then wonderful. I will send that light, open that portal, and send them on. So yeah, there were interactions with ghosts from time to time, and I didn't look at it as anything that was frightening or anything that I needed to fear. I just believed that I knew the light of God, that I lived in a way that was protected, and if I could assist, then awesome. If you haven't seen the video where I interview Father Nathan Castle, he assists souls who are traumatized in some way and stuck here, and he has a specific mission around that. My mission was not like his. Mine was kind of in the moment, that if I just sensed an entity or someone I knew included me in a clearing, then I would do that. I'd add my energy to that situation. I was a reluctant medium. I didn't want to do this with people because I was interested in other things. And for so long, I was very busy teaching. And that was how I wanted to use my intuition to help students. But since I've written my book, Angels in the OR, and I've been speaking so much about this topic, what is important to me is helping you open up your intuition. And I feel that just contact with other people who are intuitive helps you open up this ability. And that's one of the reasons why I talk about it. One of the reasons why I lead workshops is I want your intuition to expand and to flower because other people who live in that realm part of the time or cross that veil with some ease, not always. So what blocks you from intuition? Stress, anxiety, trauma can certainly block your intuition. You can literally have blocks in your chakra systems, and you have to work in order to clear those and do a lot of healing. I spent many years working on trauma in myself, and as certain things released, I think there was just a greater flow of energy and a greater clarity to the communication. So we live very busy, stressful lives, and this can interfere with our thinking and how we interact with the other side and just with ourselves internally. So that's one of the things that can block intuition, is just being very stressed and tired and not working on clearing certain blocks within the self. Now, how do you know if you're getting a message that is true and clear? I get this question a lot. In my previous video, I talked about how a message that opens you up to greater awareness and love is generally what the other side seems to be communicating. And I think the message from my near-death experience of love is all that matters and all that we take with us. When we get a loving message from our loved ones, well, that's probably an indicator that all is well and that is a true message. So if you have a dream and you're hugged deeply, or you have this beautiful conversation with someone who's on the other side and you just feel so much better in the morning, chances are good that person visited you. And then I get people asking me, well, why don't they visit more frequently? And how can you force that? Well, I'm not certain that you can force the dreams, but you can open up greater awareness for contact with your loved ones on the other side. You can feel them in a moment. You can sometimes hear their voice. You can connect with them in a variety of ways, but you can't necessarily force one type of connection. And then I feel really sad when people ask me, well, I loved my mom or my dad so much and we were so close. Why have I not had contact with this person? And all I can say is keep hoping, keep trying, keep opening up your awareness, meditate more, take more classes on this. We all have this ability. And part of it is just understanding what it feels like. Because a lot of times people think, oh, that can't be verified. You know, that's not bright enough. I want to see this person next to me. I want to see them, you know, in all their living color. And what you might be getting is just a small little message of love and of tenderness, just a feeling that comes over your body. And you know, oh, this person really loves me. And, you know, maybe my grandmother wants me to go to the store and get something nice for myself. And it's just as simple as that. It's because that's who she was in life. Why would she still not be sending you that kind of love? Like sometimes the messages are really simple. And it doesn't mean that they're inaccurate. It just means that you're loved. You're truly loved from the other side. You were loved in life by certain people and you're loved on the other side. So there's a lot to this topic. I enjoy answering questions and I enjoy connecting with you. There's a lot of questions that people have about healing realms and using the angels for greater healing or for greater power in one's life. And then there's a ton of questions as well about, well, why even worry with the angels? Why not go straight to God? And I always tell people, well, yeah, you can talk to God all day long. You can have this loving, amazing connection with God. I didn't manifest angels in my near-death experience. They just appeared. And so I'm aware of them. And I have to talk about them because that was a part of my experience. And it shocked me and it changed the way I looked at the world. And what I see when I do see them is angels are often there to comfort you in times of need and to be there in the time of your transition to help you when you really are in a dark place. So I have seen them around people who have just received a diagnosis of a terminal disease. I've seen their angels just holding their soul and comforting them. They may not be aware that their angels are there loving them in that way, but they are. And I think that we should just be joyful that we're loved like that, that there is so much love on the other side trying to seep in and trying to interact with us in this amazing way. And in those moments, I feel so encouraged. And I know that when people die alone, they're not dying alone, that they are greeted by family members, that they're greeted by their guardian angels, by guides, by people who've known them. And it is joyful. I mean, that transition is truly joyful. So that's just some of what I want to talk about in the workshop. But most of all, I need your questions. So if you want to post some below this video, I don't think the way others think who are struggling to connect with intuition. So I'm really curious what your questions are. I'm not as curious about fear because I don't have that much when it comes to this realm. It's just like the way I live. And so I live in this joy of connecting to God, of connecting to the presence of Jesus, of connecting to my angels and seeing them around other people. It isn't something that I'm worried about in any way. So I just would like people to not worry about it as well and to focus on what they love and what brings them joy and what adds more love and more awareness and more insight to their own lives. And that's it. But thank you very much for tuning into this video. May you be blessed in all that you do. And if you haven't seen my interview with Shaman Oaks or the interview with Rick Archer on Buddha at the Gas Pump, those were two interviews that I did recently and had just a ton of fun talking to both of those amazing hosts. But thank you very much, and may you be blessed.